everyone. I'm Bruce Schwartz. Thanks for subscribing, guys. We have an exposure problem, right? Being able to get on the surface. These are the two same frames of the same video here on Earth, obviously. But one exposure is so high on the right, and I integrated the same problems that we would have trying to get on the surface of the moon. If there's movement on the surface of the moon, and again, this is Earth, no, I've not gotten through the veil this good. I mean, there's clouds. Think of it, even here on Earth. If we're seeing a view like this, it's because the shot was taken under the clouds. This is Earth, just quite simply in black and white. And even just like this, with all the atmospheric disturbance and all the cloud cover that is around Earth, you can't see, most likely, if there are structures or not. You'd have to get in really close. And by doing so, obviously the structures would be probably swollen, a bit roundish edges where you would get corners. Rather than corners, you'd get roundish edges due to the distance, the lens, etc. And there's so many factors that come into consideration. As a researcher, finding the surface structures the way I do and being able to present them and show them the way I do, we should count ourselves lucky. I know I do, because all I wanted to do was to have some confirmation, some proof that there's a bit more to the moon than people really think and that we were actually really told. For those who want to climb up into mountains to get a better view of the moon, this is Mr. Hubble. Yes, Hubble telescope. Now, this object can't get the surface of the moon. So it always makes me laugh when I see people trying to climb mountains, yodelay-dee-oo, to get to the top of Earth, when on top of that, the moon is even traveling further away from Earth. I mean, you'd need a miracle to be able to get a better shot. A telescope is a telescope. I see some people climb up on their roofs with their telescopes. Um, it's not going to make much of a difference. I mean, what about asteroids? All the details they must get with asteroid flybys, and I mean, Hubble must have data. That's all we hear, right? Illustrations and data, illustrations and data. I mean, it'd be amazing. I always say, oh, I hope NASA shows the asteroid flyby, or, we want to see the real thing, even if it's a smudge on the screen. That's what research and science is all about. And that's what I'm all about, because I'm just showing raw footage and raw ways, unorthodox ways to many, pioneering ways, if you want, to try to find out. I mean, it's been done in the past. That's how science was formed. The beautiful, mythical way that people thought of how they could have reached the moon. Did meteors really hit the surface of the moon? Each star out there can be bigger than our own galaxy and solar system. One light. And everyone has a hard time imagining that the surface of the moon could actually have an atmosphere and or a type of life. Whether it be a breakaway civilization, I assure you, there is no exaggeration whatsoever. It's become a reality. We've blocked this for thousands of years out of our minds. It's something that's very plausible. My research is going to bring me closer to the truth. Could life possibly exist on another celestial object other than Earth? Well, many people have been trying, not many people, some people have been trying to tell this to the world for a long time that the moon itself has an atmosphere. And one of the beginners, if not the beginner, it's Mr. John Lear, a person I appreciate very much. We each have our own opinions for everyone, and a lot of jealous people are out there trying to discredit people. But I'll tell you what, John Lear, since the time he's been around, and with the credibility that he has, and with his flying experience and all his certificates, still, some people do not believe that the moon could have a possible atmosphere. All right, some serious talk. UFOs. Archimedes. Here we are. There's clouds coming off the top of the crater there. We're going to look at this properly. Yes, clouds and UFOs going by. So now there is a corridor over Archimedes crater. It's unreal, and I have yet to check all the other craters, and there's lots that we'll be seeing, but we have the proof. Looking at the surface, we see a smoke or haze on the surface. Could these objects be the ones spraying them? Very interesting. Now the measures I just went through to be able to show you guys this, there it is. In the clouds, out from the clouds, a UFO. Watch it appear again here, and it goes through. This is continuous, and you know what? They're going at, from what I see, as Mach speed, because I can follow them with my eye. It takes about 20-30 seconds for them to get across the moon. As fast as that may be from far, they're not flying at UFO speeds. Again, over Archimedes crater, look, I'll get the 2 pointers up again. Guys, they're in clouds, or a smoke that's coming from the crater or going across the crater. We can see it going from east to west. Here it is again, this object again in the wind, following the direction of the clouds or whatever we are seeing on the surface. Pay attention over Mons Arghaeus to the UFO underneath this point, the black point. Keep your eyes on it. At one point, there's Mons Arghaeus on the left. I will turn the camera gently towards it, yet the UFO will continue its course downwards. So, it's not a bug, and it's not a lens flare. There it is, Mons Arghaeus underneath a UFO, and these are not easy to go and capture, but again, the proof is there. So we're seeing recent UFO activity, guys. In the proximity of Archimedes crater, we are seeing lights under the smoke, haze, or cloud on the surface, flickering, blinking on the surface, and sporadic objects and lights, white, clear lights that look like spheres or whatever, objects coming out of the UFOs that are dark in appearance. We're seeing some that I posted the other day with a yellow gas, looked like jellyfish on the surface. It really does look like they're floating in water. Just incredible. The Apennine Mountains, Eratosthenes crater at the end. Do you guys see that? There is no mountain, right? It's just a flat surface with a couple of spikes, I guess. All the shading and all the shadowing on the surface of the moon. I know it's so hard to understand what is inverted and what is convex and what is protruding outwards, what is a mound, what is a hole, and why. Mark F, Mark Bradley, Rose. I love you guys. And to everyone on this list and that comes here to this channel, thanks for your trust, your interest, and just stopping by to check out my videos. Thanks for connecting.